Hello friends, welcome to How to VLAN channel. This is DBA VLAN stream. Mm, is it DBA VLAN stream or utilities VLAN stream? We can keep it in any way, but uh, the idea behind today's video is I have been going through a performance issue wherein one of my database server went into a panic state, did not take in any user logon, so SSH is not working, and neither the system admin nor the DBAs can log in, and the system was completely choked. And the only way we got out of the situation was to stop the application. Once the applications which were connected to the DB were stopped, the system started responding fine. So that's the story background. Now we are trying to assess the root cause. Luckily, I reproduced the issue by allowing the applications to be restarted. By that time, I enabled one of the intelligent utilities from Oracle, and that monitors the um, compute, memory, and other resource usage on the machine. So today, I I wanted to actually use the outputs of that intelligent monitoring tool to aggregate its output and perform some analytics from it to figure out who was the culprit. Why did the system enter into choked state? And this is the typical chicken egg story. I saw a pattern of 2x more connection on the day we had an issue compared to other days, and it really choked the machine. But the application team has a different story where they were saying there was a performance issue in the DB that ended up resulting in more connections coming into the database, being it is an OLTP application, because the users connecting to the DB did not get response, so they started launching more number of connections. This is a story. And additionally, one key factor that was driving this whole incident was the system CPU usage went very high on the day we had an incident. That was a key observation. That's the reason why SSH was not working. And the system CPU usage normally doesn't go high unless you have an IO issue. You have some process which keeps demanding, or the interrupts are coming in such a way that it needs to be scheduled. And there's a huge scheduling demand. Those can never scale. They are system processes. The ones which really need scheduling, they are system CPU related process. They cannot scale. Like how in Oracle you have library cache lock and cursor waits, right? They cannot scale. They are all single threaded, or they hold a lock, and they hold a lock in such a way that your application cannot scale even if you have multiple CPUs. The same thing happened to us that day. So it was the CPU usage on the system CPU, not on the user CPU. So in order to triage that incident, I actually enabled the monitoring. I collected the information, but it took me a day or so to digest the information. But I digested at least one or two. I aggregated the outputs on one field. Now the result showed me a story which I am not able to correlate with the root cause. Say for instance, I saw Oracle was the one which was consuming all this system resource. When I say system resource, memory. That day, what did we observe was the swap was completely consumed. And there was a huge swap in and swap out. And that actually caused system CPU usage. So memory issues, IO issues. They are responsible for the system CPU usage. So swap in and swap out caused system CPU usage. Yes. So who caused that? Then again it turns out to be Oracle process. Now, if I have to prove that Oracle process was the culprit, I need a by process memory statistics. And I have the information from the tool. If I aggregated, yes, I got Oracle was the memory top consumer, because all the process owned by Oracle totally contributed to 500 times, 5 times more than the memory on the machine. I don't want to go into the discussion about Oracle's memory, sorry, the Linux memory architecture. But why I am why I'm going much into this detail is because um, The first time when I assessed it, I hit with one particular metric. Then I next window, I mean the issue window, I assessed it. Yes, no other process is consuming. Bingo, I found the issue. No, the next window when I assessed it, it was 700%, but I didn't have the issue at that window. 7 times more than the total memory on the machine. The next window I assessed, it was 8 times more than the memory available on the machine. All right. So now what I defined, that's not going to help me. So now it's not just that one single field I can rely on now. I need to have a versatile uh, scripting technique or a script which can process this particular intelligent tools output and gives me the output. The same output I can use any other analytics tool to plot in such a way the data I need, and then I can have more and more intelligence from it, and that might help me finding the root cause. That's the whole idea behind it. So I came up with the script already. I'm just going to show you how the process command looks like and what is the output of that, and how actually we run the script to generate the output. And I'm going to stop there after the output is generated, because the output is more or less readable, because it's going to give you a command separated value file, CSV file. In the CSV file you can use any tool to perform analytics. I'll stop there. I'll do a part 2. I'll show you one of the Oracle's feature again to perform the analytics. I'll always go with Oracle tool because mainly I'm an Oracle DBA, and I learned all other skills from Oracle. By understanding Oracle, I learned others. So that's why I always choose Oracle as my primary product. Through Oracle, my glasses are Oracle. So I always look through Oracle to understand other technologies. It's like Oracle is my mother language. Oracle database is my mother technology. You can say, like, how you, if you're a Spanish speaking person, you will look every other language through Spanish. Similarly, if I think in technology, I think through Oracle, because that's my glass. So this being my primary product, I will try to capitalize on what I know already here, and then I'll start leveraging others. Here, one additional thing that we are going to do is, we are not going to document the shell script. We are going to rely on GenAI, because I think we have done one blog on GenAI, but we have not done any video yet, I think. Or but this is the first time I'm going to show you a video. How am I going to capitalize on GenAI to perform the documentation about my shell script? All right, let's get started. It's been a long story. I never speak so much with just a topic slide alone presented. Let's get started, guys. As usual, what are the steps? Requirement: we launch a process monitoring command and process the output using a shell script. Process the process monitoring command output. How funny it is. Okay, using a shell script, and use an AI tool to document the flow. The tools that I will use is shell script, Gemini, and mermaidchart.com. Okay, this is a part of a multi-part series. Yes, like I said, it's a multi-part series in identifying a root cause on a typical chicken egg story kind of issue. Step 1: command which monitors the process. You can launch the below command on an abnormally loaded machine. This is not going to cause you a lot of trouble, guys. So you trust me. So you can use this output to assess the RCA. So as going after a top command every minute is challenging. All right. So let's launch this. Okay, I'm going to have two windows. This is the first window which is going to monitor our. Let me change the color of this window. Right. So you can see this will produce me an output with this name, and I'm going to let it run for 2 minutes. It will take 4 samples because sleeps 30 seconds. You can put it 15 seconds, 5 seconds also if you want to be so aggressive. But I wouldn't recommend you doing so aggressive sampling on a abnormally loaded machine. 30 seconds is a good start. You can go down to 15 seconds. In an Oracle RAC cluster, Oracle suggests 15 second samples. Okay. Next, this shell script. I already have this shell script developed, and copied here. This is our another window. This is blackened screen, right? And I have this command process OS no output.sh already stored there. And I'm not going to walk you through this shell script. Instead, I'm going to let GenAI walk you through my shell script. That's the idea behind today. So when did we start? I'll see if the file, when was the file created and what's the time now. Right, so it's 22:45, and if I do a start, file's birth time, it doesn't show the birth time. That's fine. So okay, anyway, the file was created at 44, 42, 45. Now it's already 1 minute past. It's almost 1 minute 15 seconds. Let's wait for one more sample, 30 seconds. Right, once this is done, I'll show you how this works. And I don't need this tools to show me because I have the timestamp printed here, 2242 only. Yeah, 2244, 42. That's when the file was created. Now the last sample. So let's see the time. Yeah, 22. So we have a thing, we have let it run for 2 minutes. Let's cancel this. I have 2 minutes worth of information on this file. If I show you like this, you have samples printed this way. You may wonder, you could have written the process command output to print it in CSV output. Yes, I can. But my main intention is not to come up with my own format. I wanted to analyze the output of that intelligent tool. Okay, that's the main intelligent idea behind it. So you see here, I got the outputs printed 2, 3, 4. Just reverse engineering something so we can pre-process it for our own purpose. I'm sure Oracle already has tools in-house. They will be able to run this analytics on their own, but you will not get an access to them. So instead, you need to develop your own scripts so you can actually generate analytics out of it. That's the whole idea behind it. All right, now we got the output. Let's do this. So now I'll launch this process os.no output.sh. But before I launch it, I wanted to tell you how this script works, right? But I am not, yeah, document the code is the next step. So I wanted to document the code. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to ask Gemini, hey Gemini, hey, I need you to draw a flow diagram for a shell script. So I'm asking it a question. I need to draw a flow diagram for a shell script. It's a real shell script, real end user specific. So yes, okay, I can help you with that, it says. Right, so I already told them it is a shell script. So that means it knows what the code language is. It's a shell. So it says I need the shell script itself. Please provide the script if you like to create a flowchart for. Okay, I'm copy pasting the shell script. Now let's see. Here's the code snippet. Now it makes a lot of mistakes, which the next tool doesn't like. Okay, I need it to remove and do a lot of corrections. If I do say this is the command, okay, this one is a mermaid output. You can see here what it will say is, okay, now this is the output you got. This is the flow diagram. You may wonder what is this A, B, C, all this. These are node endpoints. These nodes need to be interpreted using another tool. That's mermaid chart. So it will also tell you how can you get this output printed. So how should I read this? How should I plot it to a flow diagram? I ask it. It will tell me that you can use mermaid code. into a visual flowchart. Mermaid Live or other Mermaid, other online Markdown editors, VS Code editor. You can use a lot. I learned this today, and this is an eye opener for me. And it's a game changer too. But if I copy paste this as it is, it will not work. My next video is about this, but when I pushed it, I'll let you know. So I already tried it. Okay, if I paste it, oh, good. Run diagram repair, yeah. It throws an error, you can see here. So these errors will keep coming up. So it's a generic error. See, line number 3 itself will throw an error. So this sort of errors will always be there. We need to tell Gemini, please remove all special characters or key terms and make it more readable. And one other thing that the mermaid doesn't like is the curly brackets. Also, remove the curly brackets. Curly brackets. If I had to edit this myself, this node or the flow diagram, it will take a lot of time, at least an hour for me. Okay, but see how quickly I get this done, and I will be able to read it. Curly brackets and remove brackets within brackets. Yeah, so it made it more readable. It removed all the keywords, I believe, and file names also it should have removed. Yeah. I think this is much much more readable. Right, let's look at this. Let's see if this gives you an output. Again, this Z in double quotes. So, which line was that? Line number 6. See this, it doesn't take. So, yeah, I'm asking you to be brief rather than, yeah, let's see. See, it still prints a double quote. I still see double quotes. It takes times, but it's worth. So it learns and it removed the double quotes now. I will print this. I think it printed the diagram. Now save the diagram. Alright, so what we do is we just go here, click export to save the file. Once the file is saved, you will be able to open the file, download it here. You see here, I downloaded it. So it start and checks if there is an input file. If there is no input file, display error and exit. If there is, remove all the temporary files I created previously for this processing and filter the rows with which has a prefix of z to a temp and move them to a temp file, redirect them to a temp file and initialize j variable. Loop read line from temporary file 1. This is temporary file 1 and I assign a variable called I with the fields 3 to 7 in the range, which is an output of this line which we read, and we check if j is set. J is set, no, then assign I j equals I, and if it is set, then assign the value of j to extract the line between j and I to temp file 2. If it is set, go ahead and identify all the lines between j and I, because you have first timestamp and then second timestamp and all the content between them. Yes, push them over to another file and sort the file based on field number 11. That's specifically done for one purpose, because if your job process has been running for more than a particular amount of time, Eventually you get to see a date, which is month abbreviated a month, and then the date. You will not see the duration of the time. So the command actually includes a start time. So that's the reason. So you need to sort it based on that to filter process the file differently. So then you will get the script. Once you sort it, then you will be able to break the file into multiple pieces. The pieces which were having start time in the way month printed with month name, and the ones which doesn't have that, and loop through the file, to the temp file, and remove these commands from the file, and count the lines if the line is count is greater than 0. This is to identify if we really have anything with the start time printed with month and date or not. That's the way, that's what we are achieving through this. Yes. Then get field 11, get date, field is letters, yes, no, and then you process all the outputs. You read through the individual files and the split file, and then format them the way you want, and then print them to the output terminal, and then you end condition end loop. So see, it's so good, right? It printed what I needed. So this will go into my documentation. I save this. That's all. I'll say this is an image, and this goes to my documentation site. I don't need to write an explanatory multi-page document about my code now. Anyone looking at the code, they know what it is now. I uploaded the code. So now, if your code is missing some vital information already, you have some codes in your kind of project that's missing vital information. Well, you can use the Copilot or any sort of this AI tools to generate a flow diagram to really understand what you are missing, the key pieces. Be you are a CEO of the company or a CTO who doesn't have a lot of time to invest, really learn a new technology, use Gemini to generate the flow diagram. Flow diagram even 11th grade student, 10th grade student can understand. And then you can now go back. After you identify this, you can ask Gemini, identify the part of the module. Let's ask it. I don't know if it's going to give me. So tell me the module which assigns in my code, which swaps J with I. Tell me the module in my code which swaps J with I. So I'm asking where in my code J is swapped with I. I need to see this, the part of the line. I wanted to really see this J equal dollar I. I did that. In my code it is there. I wanted to see where is it actually set. It shows multiple locations. Let's see if it's the case in our code. If it does good, it's good, right, for every one of us. So first thing that it did it, how many hits at least we have? One. First time it is when the j is null, it assigns the j equals I. Second time, after processing the j altogether, it swaps the j equal to I just to store the previous value. So that's all. Two times it does. How many times it detected? So you can see here, it detected once where if j is not set. So it assigns the value of I. And then the other one, at the end of the else block, update j with the current value of I. So it detected properly the locations where j is swapped with I. So and you can even ask, okay, which part of my code I remove temporary files. So RM temp step start out, absolutely. It's bang bang. So it did properly. It did properly respond back to me. It broke my code into multiple pieces, and it gives giving me very proper answers. And absolutely, I'm happy with it. And you have various models to choose. Actually, I think this is a paid model, and I think this is an experimental model and with apps and so on. I'm not sure what it is. I have not tried it, but I think nowadays, DeepSeek is breaking the world. But this keeps changing. You can look at your OpenAI ranking every regularly to see which model is in top of the chart. So then you can choose that model for your OpenAI conversations. If at all, I mean Gen AI conversations, if at all you are interested. But I would at least try the same with another tool. But Gemini is fine with me because I trained Gemini this morning when I wrote this code. I was kept on prompting it with multiple inputs. So you will see that there are multiple prompts I gave it. The answer you saw now after is what you are getting to see because I trained this model for this particular mermaid. So if I ask Gemini, I know, I know what I get from here. What do you get in turn? I asked Gemini. Improved understanding of the shell script nuances, refinement of my flowchart generation, reinforcement of the importance of accuracy, attention to the detail, practice in iterative problem solving, and a better understanding of the user needs. Yes, so it's a learning for Gemini and learning for me. But my job is made easy. The job which ideally would have spent another 20-30 minutes drafting this flow diagram. I would have used an Excel or I would have used flow.io or some other tool to generate this. And I would still made mistakes. But Gemini is fine for this work. Hope you like this video. Now let's go back. Yeah, we needed to launch the script. We didn't do it yet. We stuck in step 3. Let's launch the script to see the output. Okay, so let's call this and let's supply the input. Okay, and let's redirect the output to processed ps2.out. Okay, it's running now. Just wait for it a minute. Yeah, it finished. It's too much of a intensive operation, guys. So see here, I got the timestamp printed in the first line and then the user account running the process. Because you know the command which I ran, I'm going to anyway post it. And the PID, PPID, and CPU percentage, memory percentage, virtual stack size, RSS size, and the wait chain, and the status of the process, and then start time of the process, and how long it's been running, how much of user time it has consumed, and the command. All these informations are printed by this. So now I have all of them in one place. I can do wonders with this information. Now it's in CSV format. I can do any sort of analytics tool to aggregate it now. Even Awk can do analytics, but I'm not going to use Awk. I'm going to use some other tool which is pre-built in Oracle, and I'm going to show you that because there are a lot of um, aggregation functions in Oracle and analytical functions in Oracle, window operations in Oracle that can help you plot so much of information, so much of knowledge, and so much of intelligence that you can get out of the code. I know Oracle and I'm talking for it. But if you know another Oracle RDBMS flavor which also can do the same, you feel free to use it. Alright. So we saw this code. So now we finished invoking the script. We finish here. Like I said, it's a multi-part series. In the second part, I will show you how and which tool I will use to perform the analytics. Alright. Thanks guys for staying with me until now. And on the chicken egg story, let's find out who came first, chicken or egg. I always fight with my counterparts until I see the evidence that this is a root cause. Even be it is an area to blame my side or their side, I don't care. But I wanted to see the root cause. That's my idea behind it. So let's find out if I can find it. Thanks guys for staying with me until now. Thank you. Bye.